Broomfield Police! Broomfield Police! Oh, shit. Female has some sort of head wound. She is warm. I'm on CPR.
On December 14th, 2023, at around 12:15 noon, the dispatcher at the Broomfield Police Department received a call from a worried husband and father regarding his wife.
Broomfield Dispatcher's meeting.
Hi there. My name is Dan Krug. I don't think this is an emergency, but this feels really weird.
Okay.
My wife isn't responding to text messages or phone calls.
Okay.
And we've had threats against us. She was supposed to meet with Detective Martinez today, but I can't get a hold of him. Can I get either someone in the house to check in with Martinez, or maybe both, maybe a wellness check at the house?
Yeah, we can go check the house. What's the address?
When the police arrived for a welfare check, things quickly took a different turn. No one answered, so he stood on top of his car to peep through the window, and there she was. Kristil, a 43-year-old biochemical engineer and mother of 3, lying lifeless on the floor. The officer called for backup and attempted CPR. Minutes later, her mother and other family members arrived at the scene to hear the tragic news.
So, what we're going to work on is getting you guys a ride. We'll take anybody who wants to go back to the police department, because obviously there won't be anybody in the house right now. Well, I'm in the house right now, okay?
Wait for her.
You guys are welcome to come in my house.
Okay.
Her husband is supposed to be here.
Yeah.
15, my son is supposed to be here. What?
We're still. I don't have any answers for you. Okay. But we're gonna work on it. And obviously, we just got here, but we're gonna. I can tell you that there's gonna be no stone left unturned. Okay.
Oh my God! This can't be true. This can't be true. Can it? Can it be true?
You guys know everything I know right now, but we're gonna keep you guys posted. And I'm sorry, where you live next door or something?
I'm just a neighbor. I just called her.
You see, just a month back, Kristil had complained to the cops about her ex stalking her.
All right, and so I'm just going to kind of let you start from the beginning of when you first met Jack and kind of go all the way through. And
you're going to get the engineering project manager, so I had to wait this out.
This makes it so much simpler, I'll tell you.
Okay, I did a timeline for you. Okay, and in this timeline, we dated summer of '99.
Okay.
Very briefly. Like, there was a breakup somewhere here, like in the fall, so I did this kind of like also that you could see like way over here. Last contact I ever had with him, where he tried to reach out to me personally, saw him in person, would have been like in the spring of 2001. Everything here you're going to see question marks, because I'm like, about? I'm just trying to remember like where I was living and where I had kids at the time. So I put everything in green where they're like, just like little teeny things. It's like, oh, hey, how you doing? Found me on old information, so it's public information. Technically, I can't say that like he found me in a special way, but it was years later, right, that he came back with a quick email trying to check in. And these events here last maybe like within a period of a couple weeks. Usually it's a handful of email messages. Usually it's just like light, easy, like what's going on. Yeah, like trying to just kind of start a conversation. But it's all light, cordial, whatever. And every single time he would contact me, I know it was about here. Now this is where things get like maybe plus or minus like a year. That one could have been. Where it became alarming, and again, I'm trying to remember where I was, because it was via a Facebook Messenger app. So like these are both emails, old emails. This is like a Facebook Messenger app, and then this one's also a Facebook Messenger app. This one got really weirdly obsessive. So same kind of thing where like common little teeny little messages, and then after just a period of few messages, he's like, "Oh, my family's so happy we're talking again." I'm like, "What?
We're not talking.
This is not a relationship." And then like, he'd send me snippets of like saying he thought our relationship was like the Notebook and that we'd always end up together. I'm like, "Whoa, this is getting really weird, right?"
At what point did you get married?
So I met my husband all the way here in the summer of 2001, and then we were together all the way through college, and then I got married in 2007, and still married since.
She made a detailed timeline of all the events, so professional that Detective Martinez was surprised. She took fight lessons and reinforced her house with more security cameras. She even got a gun from her dad, telling police that if the stalker confronted her, either he would be dead or she would be. And yet, fast forward a month and she was found dead in her garage, the only place without working cameras in the house. Just as investigators gathered evidence and secured the crime scene, her husband finished work and joined them to hear about the tragic news. The question haunted detectives. Why would an ex of over 20 years carry out such a sinister act? Her husband kept crying that he was unable to protect her. But here comes the twist. How would a total stranger know the cameras weren't working? The police took every member of the family for questioning, and what they revealed would show a dark pattern, an unhappy woman, and a man who was willing to do whatever it takes to keep her marriage. You see, Kristil's marriage with Daniel was falling apart, and Danny was willing to do anything to keep her, even to the extent of impersonating her ex of over 20 years. But is that enough to drive him to do something this heartless? You will find out in the interrogation room when the detectives invited him for a second round of interrogation. If you love videos like this, kindly subscribe to the channel so we can discuss some of his deflection tactics inside the room.
And just given that you were the last one to see Kristil, we want to go over your constitutional rights. Just like I've gone over with the consent to searches and all the forms that we've signed leading up to this, we just now need to talk about your rights so we can proceed with getting the answers that we both want. That way it's good. So this is our generic form we have for everybody. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to speak with an attorney and to have him or her present during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court will appoint one for you free of charge. You have the right to stop this interview at any time. Do you understand all that stuff?
I think so.
Do you have any questions about that stuff?
No, I don't think so.
Keeping all of that in mind, is this something that you want to continue to chat about?
I guess.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. If I can get you to initial each of these lines, just saying that you've read those, understand them, and then sign date and time down here. One of the things that I would like to kind of go over, if you don't mind, is just the 24 hours before you left for work this morning.
Oh, dear God. 24 hours before I left for work.
So your last 25 or 24 hours with, is it Kristil?
Kristil.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you woke up Tuesday morning. Or I guess
Wednesday morning, sorry. We're all confused.
Yeah. Mornings are very routine in the house. Most of us have our alarms. We get up at about the same time. Yesterday was Wednesday. So on Wednesdays, doesn't take the bus. She rides with either me or Kristil. So, Wednesdays. Okay. I got up at my usual time, somewhere between 5:40 and 6. Got myself ready, like I always do, shower, get dressed. I had an advisory council meeting that I was facilitating at work. So once a month on Wednesdays, it's my early day. So I got up Wednesday, got myself ready, and then Kristil and I split up responsibilities. She packs lunches while I get the kids breakfast and dressed. So get clothes for me, get breakfast, get yourself ready, and then I have food for her downstairs. Every day, same routine. She packs the lunches, I do water bottles and snacks, I pack the backpacks while she gets herself showered or dressed. And then we all leave within usually a few minutes of each other. So that was yesterday. I went to the office. I left before them yesterday because early day. You've done that drive. It sucks. I went down. I ran my board meeting from 9 to noon. We had a lunch after, me and a couple of the board members. Then I took care of some work in the office. Then I went home. I don't know the time of when I went home. Let's see, it was Wednesday. I was on point for dinner. I have no idea what the heck I gave them. Usually has on Wednesday, but not yesterday because she has dress rehearsal tonight and a show on Saturday. So I was home with Kristil. I were tag teaming. Okay, I was teaching her how to pre-treat her socks for laundry. Not exactly tag team. Kristil went and picked up him, brought him home. I served something for dinner. After dinner, hung out, made sure kids did their homework. It was not a bath night for Malcolm, so he and I just hung out. Had to chase her to get her in the shower because preteen. So the kids did their nighttime routines. Everyone went to bed. This morning, repeat, same cycle of I said Kristil took to school on Wednesday. After I left, she took all three of them as a later start on Wednesday. Yeah. Thursday, regular school schedule. So got up at about the same time that I always do. Same routine. I feed and then I get them dressed. I prep food for while Kristil packs lunches. I pack the backpacks while she gets ready. Then I took Ella to the bus stop today because it was cold. Then I went home. Helped get their coats on, got them in Kristil's car. She left to take them to the I got the dog in the kennel. Oh, fuck the dog. There's a dog in a kennel. I have no idea how many hours he's been in there. Okay. I put Pixel in the kennel. My stomach wasn't feeling good. So I went to the bathroom. My stomach wasn't feeling good. Do you really need details?
No, that's okay.
Thank you. I came out after Kristil had come home. I was pulling on my coat while she was in the kitchen. We had a brief interaction about, I told her Pixel was in the kennel. She asked why I was still there, if I was working from home today. I said no, I was just running late. And she was telling me that I had to get going. Which is weird, she doesn't usually care what time I leave. She cares what time I come home. So she was in the kitchen with
I'm sorry.
some energy drink. I said goodbye and I left. I drove into the office. While I was driving, my phone dinged because I left late. Phone dinged with that message that I already sent you, her asking me to get by. I couldn't read it right away because I was driving. I don't remember if I responded at a traffic light or when I parked.
Yeah.
But I responded. I parked at the office. I went inside. Chatted with a couple of coworkers. I had my meeting with the analyst Riley about a project we're working on. Gave him a whole bunch of to-do items. And before and after that meeting is when I tried texting Kristil because I remembered her saying to Laura, sorry, the message that she sent me asked if I could pick up. I said something to the effect of yes. I said something else, I don't remember what. And so I think it was before my meeting with Riley, I texted her asking what time I had to pick up. Because it wasn't the usual school time, which would have been 3:10. She had dress rehearsal at 4. And she didn't answer. Big whoop. I didn't know if she was meeting with you or if she had another meeting. I finished my meeting with Riley, and I still didn't have an answer. So I contacted her again, and I realized I didn't have any read receipts. And that was weird. She didn't confirm anything about the read receipts weren't on, and that's when I tried contacting you again. And I started getting really antsy at that point, and that's when I called the non-emergency line. Well, I tried calling Kristil at home. I tried calling the house phone. Nothing. That's when I got antsy. I called you first. You didn't answer. I called the non-emergency line. After I hung up with your dispatcher, I was still feeling really antsy. I was trying to finish an email so I could get out of the office. I called Linda and asked Linda to swing by the house because she lives much closer than where I work. She went. I fired off what I needed to. I got in the car and she called while I was driving saying that somebody, I don't know if she said the officers or the EMTs were doing CPR on Kristil. The rest of my drive is kind of a blur. I just remember I was driving really fast.
What caused the, anxiety or panic as to why it was so concerning that she didn't respond?
It was a really specific question about a time impacting the kids, that's something she will always respond right away on. And other than that, that was enough for me. That felt weird.
Okay. Yeah, because like I said, I wasn't in the office today, and I actually had to call out sick because one of my kiddos was ill. And so my phone was blowing up all day, and so I was kind of putting everything together all at one time. So I really apologize for my lack of communication with you today. So I'm just trying to understand really what was going on in your head. What did you think was going on?
I don't know. The text that I got from her said she had to meet with you. I know better than to ask her in advance about those things because she has to mentally prep for everything. So I ask after the fact, how did it go? So I didn't want to bother her, but I needed to know what time to pick up. Because I remembered when they were getting ready, Kristil talking about picking her up early and asking what she wanted packed for dinner, because it's a 5-hour rehearsal that she's...
Well, so, and I know I'm kind of late to the game on this because I haven't been that involved in the investigation that Detective Martinez has been doing for a long time, and so he may already know this or have a sense of it, but I'm still going to ask these questions because I want to try to understand too. And maybe you've already asked this, but again, I'm just going to throw it out there. The meeting with Detective Martinez today, did she tell you specifically what that was about or why it was occurring? Okay.
All I have is the one sentence in the text message that I already gave him.
Okay. And then tell me a little bit more about your guys' relationship. Like, I kind of want the intimate details, to be perfectly honest, because it's important for us to understand what's sort of led up to today. I mean, like, what's a normal you were super detailed in your account of the last 24 hours, but none of it really included your relationship or your interaction. It's very, and I know how families are. I have my own family. It's very much like a business, right? We all have our roles and we all got to get it done. But what's going on with you guys? Because it seems like there's been a lot of stress on your relationship.
We are not in a good place.
Okay.
We have not been in a good place for a while.
Okay.
I told her I wanted counseling. She said no.
And when was that? Sort of ultimatum? Long time ago?
Yeah, months.
Okay.
We live together. We have joint finances. We obviously co-parent the kids. We do maintain separate bedrooms. That's kind of where we are in the ebb and flow of a relationship.
Okay.
So that it's tough enough to say this. Just let me get it out.
Sure.
So, other than talking about the kids, there hasn't been a lot of dialogue for a little while. I can't put a time frame on it. It hurt me that she didn't tell me about the stalker when it started, but she brought me in right away once he sent her a picture of me. I think that was Thanksgiving, Halloween.
Okay.
So she told me the next day, and I was definitely hurt and angry that she was keeping that as a secret. She said that she'd been confiding in her brother Lars. So.
Did she ever tell you why she didn't tell you that?
Because she and I were not in a good and healthy place. Well, not the phrase I should say. So she was confiding more in him. As once she told me, I wanted access to her logs. I wanted to know what the conversations were with. And at that point, she brought me fully up to speed, and I saw the horrible messages. I saw the ad, all that crap. And that's when she and I started working on game plans. What do we do to protect family, to protect the kids, define your threat level, so that we had a clear plan of attack. We could just say, we're at nuclear, that's a full lockdown, here's what it means. We're at red, here's what that means.
And the kids were kind of involved in that too, because you kind of shared a little bit with that the kids were somewhat aware of what was going on. But
they had to know enough to be cautious. I started carrying these weapons. Kristil also has her own pepper spray. She started carrying a handgun that her father had given her right up until she took it to a range and it jammed, and she decided she didn't trust it anymore, so she went out and bought a new one.
Okay.
So she had a gun, she was armed. I don't want lethal items. So she and I were planning together. I was putting up the security cameras. She had gotten a referral from somebody for some home protection, home security expert. She was, I don't know if she already scheduled it or if she was going to reach out, have him come out, look at the house, and I would move cameras and I would put up the last 2 cameras. He suggested, my brother Matthew said he would review the plans, just give another set of eyes once we got them. Hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
Anyway, she shared information with me. We were in heavy duty in the planning of everything. We didn't let each other be alone anywhere. Had to take dogs for dog for walks. We would do that together.
So it almost sounds like all this kind of maybe even brought you guys closer, not maybe emotionally closer, but you guys were physically sort of working on things besides your kids.
There was a
mutual.
Yeah, there was, over the course of November, there was a better team feel.
Okay.
We respond to crisis.
Right.
I don't remember when I came in and we had our earlier interview, but you asked me why she didn't tell me right away. And I didn't have a good answer other than we were on the rocks. But that nagged at me and kept eating at me, and I kept asking her why. And it felt like she was holding something back. She shared the log with me, all of the screen captures, all communications that she shared. And she would tell me vaguely where she was going. I made sure she always knew where I was, because the threats were against my safety and her just being abducted. She wasn't as honest, or I can't say honest, she wasn't as open about where she would go. And that kept nagging at me.
Well, I'm sure, especially you guys are trying to work together to be safe, keep your family safe, keep your, as dysfunctional as it is, you still both had the common goal of keeping it safe, right?
And so, after our earlier interview, with things nagging at me and her not answering my questions, I got to a point where it wasn't an ultimatum, but it was I had her as a partner to protect the family, but it didn't feel like a partner who valued me. And I told her at that point, I didn't want to die for someone who didn't care about me anymore. I told her I wanted a divorce.
And when did that conversation happen?
Oh, weeks ago, before Thanksgiving.
And how did she take that?
Angry, obviously. Mostly anger that I said it now, with everything else going on. So she said she didn't want to talk about it until all of this was done. And then he got quiet, and we just sat in that. And so we alternated conversations between how do we protect the kids, how do we secure the house, how do we start the process.
So do you think she wanted to get a divorce, or do you think is that why she shut you down? Like, we're not doing anything until this is over. When you kind of had your epiphany of like, it sounds like you feel like you were completely, I don't know, written off by her, or that she had zero care for you anymore.
She was ready for a divorce. So we talked about how do you divvy up the assets. We own 2 houses. On its face, that should be easy. We're both on both mortgages. That's a pain in the ass. So we were talking through how do you start to do that. And so I would say it was as amicable as it could be for 2 people who may or may not have really wanted it.
But you were just in talking stages. There wasn't any paperwork. There wasn't anything going on. Now, what about, and I don't want to open an even bigger wound, but do you think there was any infidelity going on, on either side? Were you seeing someone else? Was she seeing someone else?
Me? Absolutely not. No, I have remained completely faithful to her since our very first summer together.
But from what you said earlier, it kind of made me like you feel that there could have been somebody else, because she's not being honest with you about where she's going. She's only letting you in so far, right? She's showing you what she wants to, and then, you got inked up by her saying, why are you working from home today, right? Why are you here so late? So, I don't know, am I reading into what you're telling us, that you think that there maybe was something else going on? Or is that just me and my suspicious nature?
You should have suspicious nature.
Because you seem to be hinting towards that. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
Okay. But what's your feeling? What's your heart? What's your gut? What's everything else tell you?
I want to believe her.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know if I do.
Okay. But there's no other obvious signs that...
Earlier you were talking, where she's gone for hours with no communication, and you don't know where she's going.
And recently?
As recently as 2 nights ago.
What does her typical day look like? So what would she have done after you leave the house? Because I don't know any of that about her, and maybe you already know this. But like today, after you leave to go to work, what would she do? Or do you know?
I know a little bit. We don't monitor each other's work calendars unless it's an early meeting that impacts the schedule. Mm-hmm. So on a typical day, after she drops off the kids, she comes home. She always works remote, pre-pandemic. Her teams, she's a project manager. Sometimes she's managing a project with European teams. Sometimes they're all domestic. So it's not uncommon that she has 8 a.m. meetings.
Sure.
Because that's when she can meet with people in the UK. So she comes home. She goes into her office. She does her meetings. If I'm home, I take the dog for a walk. If she's the only one home, she takes the dog for a walk. But otherwise, she's typically home from 8 until she has to go pick up kids at 3.
And with all the cameras around there now, are you ever doing any checking up on her, seeing if that's... Again, I would do that if I thought my husband were hiding things from me or being a little shady.
That always felt kind of creepy to me.
You never did that? Come out of curiosity.
Everybody peeks.
Okay.
Push notifications on the phone. Dear God.
Every
time someone
totally
walks their dog down the side of the house. We're right next to the mailboxes every time the mailman comes. So there's so much noise that no. Okay. I don't monitor because there's noise.
Okay.
So we trade off who takes kids where on what days, and we will frequently, rather than drive back and forth, you stay someplace.
Yeah, I get that. I have kids.
So it wasn't uncommon to not be around each other 2-3 hours a night in the evening.
Okay.
One person is home with some of the kids, the other person is out with the other.
Okay.
That was the norm.
Yeah, I think it's pretty normal for families.
A lot of juggling.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Especially with 3 kids.
Yeah. So if she were at home working, is everything on lockdown when she's there? Is the door locked or the garage is closed? Do you guys keep the...
Garage always closed. Garage outside door is always closed. The other questions, I don't know.
Okay. If you're home, is the front door locked?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, we're religious about it in our house, but it's probably because of what I do for a living. But I know a lot of my friends are not.
My brother's the same way as you. Front door, always locked. Back door, hit or miss. Our dog has arthritis problems in his hip.
Okay.
He struggles with the doggy door, so it's not uncommon that the back door is completely open. So he doesn't have to go through the doggy door, he has full door.
What kind of garage door do you guys have opener? Is it something on your phone that you can open? Is it a program that's just old school thing in your car?
It's not manual, it's the, I guess now they're old school. Keypad on the, we have 2 garage doors. Okay. Keypad on the double door, no keypad on the single bay. Both of them have buttons next to on the inside, and our cars are
remoted.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
And then going back in time, back to the whole overarching investigation that we've been talking about, the first time that this guy reached out to Kristil was the beginning of October, I believe October 2nd.
We think that's the first time he reached out. We've second-guessed some things that happened in September. We had an intruder in the garage. I came home to find the garage door open, and as I was pulling in, someone came running out. That's what prompted the security cameras.
Gotcha. Did that get reported to us?
Yeah. Okay. So there was that, and then she had, I think she told you about this, that weird clear hose that she found sticking out of the back of her car. So we've been second guessing the timeline, and she was wondering if Kickman thought that car was mine rather than hers. Play stereotypes. I have the more family car than her.
Sure.
So that was her theory.
So what? Can I just ask, what do you think happened today, Kristil? What do you think? What's your theory?
I don't know.
Well, you gotta have one. I mean, I'm sure a million different thoughts have run through your mind. What do you think happened?
I had left. She was in the kitchen. She would have had whatever meetings that she had. And then she said she was meeting with you. But you know nothing about that, so I have no idea what the fuck that is. What's his name? The other detective said that the cameras were turned off. That shouldn't happen. The only way that the cameras can be turned off is through the app. One of us has to hit the button. Internet outage will cause something, but that doesn't turn them off. It just interrupts the feed for a couple minutes. He said they were turned off. And one of them looks like it has something on it. So, in my brain, I'm thinking someone made a move against her. She has a gun that she carries around. It's always in one of 3 places. Well, I guess 4. It's either on her. She has I think 3 different holsters now. It's either on her. If she's in her office, it's on the filing cabinet directly behind her. If she's anywhere else on the first floor, it's on here, the high counter next to the plants, always. It's either here, or if she's upstairs, It is sitting next to the headboard. So, in my brain, someone came to the door. It's Christmas time. I have Amazon packages being delivered every damn day. Someone came to the door. She doesn't usually answer the door, but she must have, because she must have. So in my brain, the story that I have is someone came to the door. Maybe she went outside to get a package, and they must have come in. And she's a fighter. She is strong. She would have fought.
And the fact that the cameras were turned off, does that include your Ring doorbell or the doorbell camera? Or what's up with that?
Thank you. From what Waite said, or he had my phone and was asking why they were off. And I said they shouldn't be. It looked like all of them were off. The doorbell had something on it.
And how do you know that?
Because I saw it from the camera. And then, so the point of the Google Home app is I can share it so that Kristil has it, I have it, Ella has it, Lorelai has it. Everyone can pull up the cameras from anywhere. And Ella even said that she saw there was blue on the doorbell camera. We couldn't see the yard.
What time was that at? Does she notice that?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm sorry. I have no idea.
Was that a text conversation, a phone call?
Oh, when she told me, no, when she was sitting right here.
Got it. Okay.
So, Waite said it when he was sitting here with the phone in front of him, and I was looking right at it. And then Ella told me she saw it when she was sitting here, and she saw it during her off period at school, which is when, whatever the name of the woman who drove me here, Ella called while I was in the car with her because she got the notification about activity at the house from the camera. So she panicked. She called Kristil. Kristil didn't answer. She called me.
So, at some point, the camera's picking up movement. There's just something over the lens that records.
I don't understand the question.
Well, so the camera's still picking up movement. It's just when it can't see out.
So it looks like, again, I haven't picked up my phone. It looks like the camera is on, but it only sees blue.
Sure.
The doorbell camera. Ella was getting notifications from the driveway camera.
Got it. All right.
All of them send notifications.
Okay.
So, I mean, who do you think killed her?
I think it's Kickman. I think it's Anthony.
Okay.
What he doesn't know yet is police had tracked the Kickman, aka Anthony, and found out he hasn't seen or spoken to Kristil since 2016. He moved on.
What if I told you that we had already spoken with Anthony and there's no way that he was in town today?
If it wasn't him, who was it? I replaced all of our locks after the garage intruder.
So there's a lot of moving parts to this investigation. There's a lot of things that we're doing and working on, and a lot of, our entire investigations unit, I would say, fairly is working on this, right? Because, like I said, we take this very seriously. This doesn't happen very often in Broomfield. And
Lived here for a long time.
We take all crime very seriously, especially crime like this. So, one of the things that we really started looking into today in effort to find Anthony is, the Gmail, what was the other?
Text now numbers.
The text now numbers and things like that. And
I don't know what text now is.
It's like an app that you can get fake phone numbers and contact people through Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a Wi-Fi only.
Oh, spoofing. Gotcha.
Kinda.
Yeah, not really spoofing, but like if I wanted to text somebody, let's say I was buying something on Craigslist and I didn't want them to know my real phone number, because I don't want them coming back to me or whatever, I would just get a Text Now account, and it would, almost like a Google Voice, whatever, okay? So, the really weird part about looking into some of that stuff, because we have what we call exigent circumstances right now. You understand what that means? So for us in our legal mumbo-jumbo, that means that someone died, and we're looking into it very seriously, and so there's an sense of urgency in getting that information.
Gotcha.
Okay, so companies are more likely to cooperate with us if we're investigating that versus a harassment or a stalking or...
Okay.
Remember how we talked, when I submit my legal paperwork, it takes
escalates.
a while. But because somebody was murdered today, we have the ability to tell them that, and then they will generally provide us with information immediately. That's what exigent circumstances means.
Okay.
Because we're trying to find the killer.
So some of that information that we've been able to receive today is a little bit, I don't know, concerning, I guess. The Gmail account that, and you can speak more specifically.
And that Text Now number we were talking about, the number that he initially texted Kristil from. The Gmail account, the Kickman account that you guys initially received with the photo of you in it, and the phone number, those originated through their IP addresses at your office.
It doesn't make any sense. Well, he took the photo of me at my office.
Right. But both of those accounts originated from IP addresses that list back to your office.
I don't know what to do with that.
Well, tell us about the IP address. Do you know anything about the network or anything at your work? Or
I do money.
yeah, I know, but like here, I believe me, I know nothing about tech stuff. That's why I keep looking to him to explain this crap. I still know
Wi-Fi access throughout the facility for employees, and there's public Wi-Fi access throughout the entire facility.
Okay.
CPHE guest, I think is what it is. And we literally post the passwords in every single meeting room.
What's the IP address on your computer on your desk?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
It's managed by the state, I have no idea.
Gotcha. Because like here, we all have our own individual IP addresses to our individual computers, right? Mine's one address, hers is another address, and every other person has their individual addresses. So
I have no idea if we have person-specific or across the board. I'd say whichever one is cheaper we have.
okay. Because right now we're working with the director to get all of the IP information to see what devices we're using that specific address during that time. So
Okay.
because I guess the biggest concern is just the timing of everything, that it just doesn't quite make sense to have somebody create an account, take a photo, and then immediately send it off, and then the account is no longer being used.
None of this makes any sense.
And also, let's add on top of that the fact that there's, as far as we know right now, there's no physical way that Kickman could have been involved in this based on where he's at right now. So, you know, the mystery continues, and
It has to be the husband.
well,
Things are certainly pointing in one direction right now.
well, and you've given us reason. Here's the other thing, Daniel, is I sympathize with the fact that you're in an extremely frustrating situation, and I don't think that your married life is anything that I would want to be a part of. I know you want to be a part of your kids' lives. So all I'm saying is I can understand, or I can try to understand how frustrating or how frustrated you must feel. But you can also sense that's why we're asking all these questions about infidelity and everything else. Is there some other mystery man that we don't know about? Or is this a case of...
I have been faithful, period. I want to believe that she has, but I don't know. Is there another person? I don't know.
You said yourself, too, and I'm just going to put it out there, because I think we're all thinking it, or at least probably we are, is that And when you're telling the story, I drew that conclusion that a lot of this stalking stuff in this report that you guys, of this Kickman, has brought you closer and maybe given a little bit of hope in your relationship that you can accomplish something together.
I don't know where you're going with that. I'm sorry.
You're using this,
My brain is fried.
I'm sure.
kind of using this circumstance to bring you guys closer together. You yourself said that, having the common goal of circling the
I
wagons.
said something along the lines that it felt like we had more teamwork.
Right.
I think there's a big gap between teamwork and rekindling a romance.
But it delays the inevitable.
But I asked for the divorce.
And I think we've also heard the same thing about Kristil today.
Yeah.
Kristil, I'm sorry.
Because I'm going to throw this idea out there. Right? Anthony has reached out to her in the past, number of times.
She's been very open about that, yes.
Right. The last time was 2016-ish. He had asked her at one point if she wanted to have sex.
I think he's approached her multiple times.
Right. So this next time, if there's any bit of question about infidelity, whether it's with Anthony or anybody else, we might create an account to see if we can create a facade or see if Kristil's actually interested in Anthony. So we ask her and push the bounds a little bit and see if that will confirm our suspicions of infidelity. You don't get the response and the openness you once did for about 28 days, from October 2nd to October 31st, to amp it up a little bit. Send a photo of yourself to her, an account you created, see what her response is.
I mean, the IT department, in fact, I can go check on where we're at with those records, but a lot of this stuff is going to shine through. My hope is just that we can at least be honest about those things and agree that maybe it started out the way that it was reported and then maybe it turned into something different.
Is that I would put my children through this? We're drilling the kids on what to do if we said run. That they had to pair up, they had to run. I'm looking into counseling for the kids, figure out when the heck to start that. The narrative you're putting together, but it alleges that I would do this to my children.
But I think ultimately what happened today would bring you the closest to your children that you've probably ever been in your mind.
I'm very close to my children. Dance class, we hang out, we do our puzzles together. When I play our games, he prefers sleeping next to me rather than next to Kristil. I read her Harry Potter. I love and adore my children.
You're afraid to lose time with them if you get the divorce.
Well, provide us a different explanation then. We know it's not Kickman. If you were watching these facts unfold in front of you in a movie, what would you say happened?
There has to be someone
that was able to turn off the cameras, that was able to access password-protected system to turn off cameras, that was able to use your IP address from your work to create accounts, to send messages and photos, to act as a stalking suspect. Well, tell me. Help me make sense of it.
I don't know, I'm not the one who does this. I'm analytical at work, and I read and write fiction at home.
Kickman is 6.5 hour drive from here. There's no way he could have made that drive. If he flew, we would have record of that. That doesn't show up on any sort of flight record through the FBI, DEA, Homeland Security, anything like that. And then, in fact, he was contacted in his house, severely intoxicated.
All this time that we've been looking for him, for the protection order, and you just found him today, like that?
Because I've been looking at you, but I've been waiting for these records to come back.
We've been chasing the wrong dog.
Am I under arrest? It sounds like you're accusing me.
We have a lot of information that points your direction, and we were hoping that you could provide a legitimate explanation other than it wasn't me.
We have publicly available internet.
What would you think, or what would you say if we told you that other people you talk to that are close to your wife expressed that she had maybe told them that she suspected you of having...
She said that right to my face, that she wanted to know if it was me. And I told her no.
But why would she suspect that? I don't understand how we take the leap from we haven't had a romantic relationship for a long time in our marriage to I suspect my husband is pretending to be my stalker. How does that happen? There's a missing explanation in there. There's a missing piece to that. Human nature, there has to be. I get that you're very calm. You seem like a very calm, logical guy. Like
Consider yourself analytical.
Analytical. I get that. But human nature, there are going to be volatile, heated, whatever word you want to use, moments in a relationship where you love someone and you don't feel it back. And I haven't heard a lot of that from you, although it sure sounds like she was accusing you of everything and not giving you any love or support or even making you feel like she cared. So there has to be more to your story even with her. I don't know. Did she tell you last night that she's done, she's moving out, that she has a boyfriend? Did you guys get into an argument?
No. Last night was calm. We talked about, I don't know if this was last night. We talked about plans for Christmas. Who was going to be where, sticking with the Thanksgiving approach of 2 separate Christmases.
If you notice, all this while he is talking, he doesn't look at the detectives in their faces. This is a tactic used when lying. If you can't see the faces of the people you're lying to, you're less likely to make mistakes.
Based on, here's the other thing is, he's provided a statement, he's provided that very much coincides with what she's told us about their last communications, without the stalking stuff, without knowing. I mean, we don't have, we interview people. What I'm saying is that he's consistent with what she has told other people about their last contact. And he's very open with, what sort of his phone, and so are you. I'm not saying you're not at all. But I think there's more to the story. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't, it's not adding up. It's not adding up. And what I want you to know is that, and feel that, based on what you've told me and what I've learned about your relationship, is that it sure sounds like you were, I don't know, I don't know if it was being used or what it was, but you guys were kind of going through the motions in your marriage, and I think all this stalking stuff became an opportunity for you guys to get closer, or for you to try to dig about this affair that she's having, or maybe try to confirm or not confirm this mystery time-lapse disappearances of hers. Because you're a smart guy, and you couldn't get the information from her by asking her.
This is a really convoluted way of getting it. I want to go see my children. I've explained this to Lars. In my family, when bad things happen, you don't scatter. I want to see my children. Are we done here? Are we done here?
Well, that's up to you. I mean, I think we still have a lot of unanswered questions, but I mean, I'd like to know what happened this morning. I'd like to know
Me too.
what caused you to get so upset to hurt your wife, because I believe that's what happened. I believe that you've been because there's no other logical explanation.
I want to know what happened to her. Did she fight? Did she get shots off? Where was she in the house? I have Linda, who said they were doing CPR in the garage. And that's all I know. So tell me, did she fight? Did she get shots off? Where is she in that house?
We haven't been there to know. And there's only one person in this room that can tell us. Because Detective King Solomon and I have been here with you.
I think you know the answer to all those questions. And I think that the evidence will show us that, but we're not there to look at it because we're hopeful that you're going to tell us the truth about what happened, and finally show your wife that you truly do love her by coming clean on all this stuff.
And there has to be someone else. There has to be. You've asked me like, I can't even count how many times. Is there a boyfriend? There fucking has to be.
Why would the boyfriend kill her, though? Because if the boyfriend wanted to be with her, I don't know, I've seen a lot of crime drama. I know you don't. But if the boyfriend wanted to be with her, he would want to eliminate you. And I don't think they can mistaken you for him.
No.
Or her. I mean, I don't think you guys look alike.
No.
So, I mean, why would a boyfriend who is spending time with, let's just use your theory, probably having sex with, probably good sex because it's a fair sex, probably hearing her talk about how she wants to divorce you and is making plans to divorce you, why in God's name would that boyfriend then come over to her house and kill her?
I have no idea. Maybe she got cold feet. Maybe she was tired of that. Maybe she had two. I don't know.
I think you got confirmation or found out that she had a boyfriend this morning, or something happened that pissed you off, and you did something that you regret now because you can't go back. And you can't go back to stalking her secretly, or pretending to be her stalker, or making plans, having cooperation with one another, although it's not romantic, having cooperation with one another to fight together against Kickman. That's what I think happened. And I think it's a shame that you're not being more honest about it, because your wife deserves it.
I've answered all of your questions that I can. Please let me know when I can return to my house. I need to figure out what the heck to do for a dog. I need to take care of my children. You have your theory. It is wrong. Please find the right one. When you're done, may I please have my thumbs and the keys to my car?
So the last thing that we're going to do before we get to that point is we need to process you for physical evidence, okay?
And is this the point where on that, whatever that checklist is, I say, I'll have an attorney?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
But the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to process you for physical evidence.
I don't know what that means.
Let me explain it, okay? But you're trying to rush out of here, and we still have about 15 minutes together, so we can take care of all of that stuff, okay? So we need to collect your clothes, we need to take the buccal swab sample that we talked about earlier.
I've signed that.
And before we get out of here, we need to take overall photos and collect your clothes.
The walls finally closed in on Daniel Krug when detectives looked past his tears and into the digital data. While Daniel thought he was being clever using TextNow and private Gmail accounts, he left behind a digital fingerprint that was impossible to erase. Investigators used emergency warrants to track the IP addresses of the Kickman emails and the spoofed phone numbers. The data led them directly to the Colorado Department of Public Health, where Daniel worked. The logs proved the messages were sent during work hours from Daniel's assigned computer and his office's Wi-Fi network. The final blow to his story was the home security system. Forensic analysis of their Google Home app showed that the garage cameras were manually disabled just minutes before Kristil was attacked, not by a hacker, but by a user with full access to the home's primary account. Daniel had staged a break-in weeks prior to steal the spare key, but it was his own digital footprint at work that ultimately unmasked him. On April 18, 2025, the charade officially ended. Daniel Krug was found guilty of first-degree murder, stalking, and criminal impersonation. The judge sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 9.5 years for the terror he inflicted on Kristil before her death. He will spend the rest of his life behind bars, a hero in his own mind, but a cold-blooded killer in the eyes of the law. Kristil Krug did everything right. She documented the threats, she trained to defend herself, and she fought until the very end. She just never expected the monster she was preparing for was the man sleeping in the next room. If this case shocked you as much as it did the Broomfield community, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Here at Case Archive, we dive deep into the evidence to bring you the truth behind the headlines. Thank you for watching, and I'll